this upcoming week, I'll see a little bit higher level. Adidas is coming to Southern California, so that will be my focus. But overall, it was good. Again, like we said, we'll come back and talk about. A college coach wanted to. He mentioned I listened to your podcast and I want you guys to talk about this. I'm like, great, because he's just trying to do other kids a favor. They're not all going to go to his school, but he's like, these kids are. There were so many teams and so many people who are playing who are not even getting watched by colleges. So it's like, oh my, like we gotta. I don't know how that's gonna change. I don't think that's gonna change just because just the culture. People love basketball and it's a great thing, but like the realistic part of where they're going, that's something that people need to know. Just more about the process, especially it's a lot different than before COVID. We got this portal still going crazy, and the kids have to be realistic. And it's not just the kids, obviously. It's the
I have a question for you, though, Ronnie.
Yeah.
So you made mention of just like, hey, if you get a scholarship offer, like you kind of have to take it. But do you think these kids are deceived a little bit? Like I'm hearing you and Ani talk about all these events, shoe circuit. There's so many events that these kids are really thinking like, okay, well, I got this offer, but I got 6 more events before the summer ends, to have another chance and another opportunity. So, you just talk about landscape. I just think with so many events, also you have the transfer portal, which I feel like is the real hindrance of these kids because a lot of these schools are just taking college players that are already developed and already have 2 years under their belt when they transfer. I think that kind of leads a little bit to the delusion of I have time or I'm going to go bigger. So I kind of just wanted to get your thoughts on that because it's like there's so many events. It's too many. Even I feel with my girls, like we went from, we planned in Chicago. A day later, they're in Indiana. Then they're back in Vegas. Like every week, there's something. So, that's why these kids have the mentality. I think that, but I just want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, I think that there hasn't been enough time. They need to be educated, like of the cycle. Like the spring offers for high school kids are not coming as they were before COVID. Meaning, like you play well into your senior year, maybe you dominate at the end of your senior year and in some playoff games or something, and then the coaches see you maybe at an all-star game, and obviously we're not talking about McDonald's or Jordan, just like at a local game or something you play in, and maybe they'll pull the trigger. But I just think those opportunities are going because then they're going to play in the spring again, meaning like if you graduated and you don't have nothing, you'll play in the spring. But those coaches are not, this past spring, they weren't out as much, and they're basically hosting visits, like as you mentioned, with the transfer portal, that is their priority. They're not going to go watch a kid who maybe they'll take a flyer on. Like they're going to host those visits and hopefully get some commitments, like you said, from experienced players. So if those spring opportunities are much more limited and the colleges are not getting out as much, and if the high school season, you have a pretty good solid offer. Let's say you just get I'm not putting anybody on the spot, but let's say you get offered by New Mexico or Pepperdine or USF, and like it's a good offer and you kind of like it, you got to have to kind of say, okay, you know what, this is good place for me. If you want to wait till U of A or Washington and Cal and UCLA offer you, like that's not, like you said, it's not a great realistic model.